Good morning, boys. So let us start today's work. So today we will be starting with proportion. Okay, so in the last class we have finished exercise 7a and today we'll start exercise 7b as well. Okay, but before starting, let us understand what do we mean by proportion and continued proportion. Okay, please refer to your book. It is in page number 88 and 89. Okay, so let's go through the definition of proportion. What do you mean by proportion? Now, four non-zero quantities A, B, C, D are said to be in proportion if first is to second is equal to second is to third. So A, B, C, D non-zero quantities are said to be in proportion if A is to B is equal to C is to D, which means this: A by B is equal to C by D, and if I cross multiply it, then I'll be getting A into D, that is A into D, which is equals to B into C, So A and D, they are the extreme values, and B and C, they are the mean values. So we can also put it in this way: if four quantities are in proportion, then product of the means is equals to product of the extremes. Pause the video to note down. Okay, so that was proportion. Let's now understand continued proportion. Similar to proportion, in continued proportion, what happens is three non-zero quantities, A, B, C of same kind and of same unit, three non-zero quantities of same kind and same unit are said to be in continued proportion if first is to second is equal to second is to third. If first is to second equals to second is to third, that is if A is to B is equals to B is to C. Okay, A is to B equals to B is to C. So now in continued proportion, A, B, C are said to be in continued proportion if A is to B equals to B is to C. Okay, so in continued proportion, now this B, this middle quantity B, the second quantity B is called the mean proportion, and C is called the third proportion. Okay, so B is called the mean and C is called the third proportion. Please keep that in your mind because we have to do this in our exercise. We have to learn about fourth proportion, how to find fourth, third and mean proportion. Okay, so pause the video to note down. Okay, so let's start with exercise 7b. The question given to us is find the fourth proportion, this, and this. Find the fourth proportion of this. So first term, second term, third term is known to us. We don't know the fourth term. So let the fourth term be x. Or let the fourth proportion be x. Once the fourth proportion is x, then 1.5, 4.5, 3.5 and x are in proportion. Isn't it not? Are in proportion. So what does it mean then? It means that 1.5 is to 4.5 is equals to 3.5 is to x. So therefore 1.5 by 4.5 is equals to 3.5 by x. Now it is very simple. You just have to cross multiply it. Point and point gets cancelled out. So therefore 115 by 45 is equals to, here it is 35 by 10x. We can do this. So let us cross multiply it. 15 into 10x, which is equals to 45 into 35. And now x is equals to 45 into 35 divided by 15 into 10. It's a simple calculation. 15 ones are 15 threes are. Okay, 5 2s are 10, 5 7s are 35. So therefore x is equals to 21 by 2. So 21 by 2 means x is equals to 10.5, which is our fourth proportion. So pause the video to note down. Okay, so that was question number 1, how to find the fourth proportion. Now if the question is to find the third proportion, question number 2, find the third proportion. Find the third proportion to 2 whole number 2 by 3 and 4. So let us assume the third proportion be x. Then 2 3s are 6, 6 plus 2 is 8 by 3. 8 by 3, 4, and x are said to be in continued proportion. Remember that third proportion is only possible if the proportion is continued proportion. So let us assume the third proportion be x. Then these three numbers are in continued. So if it is in continued, first is to second is equals to second is to third. Okay, that is this by this is equals to this by this. You do the cross multiplication, cancel it out, you get the value for x. X equals to 6 out here. So hence the third proportion is 6. Everything's simple and clear. Pause the video to note down. Okay, let's move to question number 4. Question number 4 and question number 3 are similar question, so I'm taking question number 4. Okay, in question number 4, given x plus 5 is the mean proportion between x plus 2 and x plus 9, then find the value for x. It's given clearly that x plus 5 is the mean proportion. Now when we did continued proportion, A, B, C are said to be in continued proportion. If A is to B is B is to C, then B is called the mean proportion, isn't it? So this B is out here is x plus 5. This x plus 5 is a mean proportion between x plus 2 and x plus 9. So if this is the mean proportion, then we can write x plus 2, x plus 5 and x plus 9 are in continued proportion. If this is the mean proportion, once again, mean proportion between this and this. So these three numbers, then this, x plus 5 and x plus 9 are in continued proportion. And once they are continued proportion, this is to this, first is to second is equals to second is to third. That is this line. And then x plus 2 by x plus 5 is equals to x plus 5 by x plus 9. And then take the cross multiplication. The whole calculation is out here. Multiplication of binomial, and this is the expansion of a plus b whole square. X square gets cancelled out. 11x plus 18, 25 plus 10x, and then you bring this side and find the value for x. Okay, the only important thing out here is to understand the mean proportion. If x plus 5 is the mean proportion, then it means this x plus 5 and this are in continued proportion. Okay, pause the video to note it down. Okay, dear students, let's move to question number 6 now. In question number 6, now this question is ICSE 2013 question. Okay, read the question. What least number must be subtracted from each of these numbers so that the resulting numbers are in proportion? Okay, so the numbers given are 6, 15, 20 and 43. What least number must be added? Sorry, not subtracted, must be added. So I've taken let the least number be x. Let the least number be x, so that 6 plus x, 15 plus x, 20 plus x and 43 plus x are in proportion. Once again, read the question. What least number must be added so that all these numbers are in proportion? Okay, so I have taken the number as x. Let the number be x, which is be added to 6. 15 plus x, 20 plus x, 43 plus x are in proportion. If they are in proportion, we know the definition of proportion. First is to second is equals to third is to fourth. Now this is not continued, this is not mean. This is just simply proportion. So these four numbers are in proportion, means first is to second is equals to second is to third. Whole calculation is out here. This by this is equals to this by this. Just cross multiplication. Look at the solution. Okay, pause the video to note down. Just find the value for x. This is the answer. Okay, let's start with question number 7. Question number 7. If A, B, C are in continued proportion, then show that left hand side equals to right hand side. 7 part 1. So A, B, C are in continued proportion. What does it mean? A, B, C are in continued proportion means A is to B is equals to B is to C, which means that A by B is equals to B by C, which is equals to B square equals to AC. So this is the meaning of ABC are in continued proportion. So we have to now prove left hand side equals to right hand side. So let us start from left hand side. So left hand side is this. This is just the left hand side. A square plus B square divided by B into A plus C. So what you do out here is, we know the value for B square, isn't it? Put the value for B square out here. So A square remains as A square plus B square means AC. That's it. Just put the value for B square. That is AC. Now from here I can see that A is common. Take A common. So within the bracket I'll be getting A plus C divided by denominator as it is. So A plus C gets cancelled out here. A plus C and A plus C gets cancelled out. So hence I get A by B. This is my left hand side. Let us see our right hand side now. So this is my right hand side. And here also simply put the value for B square only. Numerator remains as numerator. Denominator put the value for B square as AC. And then what I can do is I can take C common. Take C common. Again A plus C and A plus C gets cancelled out. So hence I get B by C. So left hand side was A by B. Right hand side I was supposed to get A by B, but I got B by C. But is it A by B is equals to B by C? Are they equal? Just look at equation number 1. Just look at the equation number 1. But from equation number 1, I know that A by B equals to B by C. According to definition, they are, according to the given condition in question, they are in continued proportion. So if they are in continued proportion, then A by B is equals to B by C. From equation number 1, isn't it? A by B is equals to B by C. So hence left hand side is also equals to right hand side. So pause the video to note down.